Good morning, everyone. How you doing today? Thursday, November 19th, and this is, of course, your daily financial news. Thursdays, we do them a little bit early. Normally, this comes to you live at 7:30 a.m., but we do them at 7 on Thursdays because our expert, Jonathan Twomley, has us scheduled at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. So, in order to make this the first thing we do every day, I get up a little early, make sure I get my reading in, and share with you what is going on. Thursdays are an important day because we get a look at the new unemployment claims. This is our firstly week. It's a weekly check on what is going on in our economy, and this could be the week that I have been fearing. Actually, Jonathan and I have been talking about for a while, where we finally break off the plateau. Right, we've been plateauing right around 700,000 new claims for 4 or 5 weeks now. Unfortunately, we jumped up to 742,000. One point does not make a trend. We had one of these head fakes 6 weeks ago when California was guessing because their systems were down, which when they fixed, they brought it down. But this one feels right. You and I have both been hearing about shutdowns, lockdowns, and shoot, if you're in California now, we're talking about curfews. Curfews feels a little like martial law to me. Curfews, really? Curfews. I don't know. I don't know what Gavin Newsom is drunk on power, near as I can tell. So lots of stuff going on. Again, I have been concerned about the end of the year. If you watch my channel with any regularity, you know I'm talking about Q4 pain, but 2021 gain. But we're in it, and it feels so bad, and it's going to feel worse, right? We saw retail sales earlier disappoint. We saw Walmart come out and say the data is pointing to the consumer retreating. We have 40% of Americans being food insecure. It's just not going to be good. A couple of things that kind of caught my attention today. There's a big headline out there about the debt tsunami that is coming. When you look at the globe, right, the world, the debt to GDP ratio is about 365%, which is crazy. $277 trillion by the end of the year. Again, that is a worldwide number. Expected, it's already up $15 trillion in the first 3 quarters of 2020. So again, a lot of that debt is debts that's been accumulating, but quite a growth rate. Again, I still think we get out of this crisis. We grow into 2021, 2022. But where I am looking at is the next crisis, the next recession is when we're going to have to pay the piper. I think there's so much focus on this current one, this kind of health crisis, hopefully once in a generation or once in a lifetime, once in a lifetime. We'll never have to do this again. But yeah, this debt tsunami has me asking interesting questions. Back to the unemployment claims. I failed to actually give you the numbers. I apologize. The economists were expecting 710. Just if you don't remember, last Thursday was 709. So that would have been, you would have been able to call 710 the kind of so that's about a 5%-ish jump. Again, we've been talking about this coming. I think this will be a trend going forward. But let's wait till next Thursday. Actually, it might be next Friday. I don't think they're going to report them next Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. But we'll see next week. Just so we know, continuing claims, which is always a week behind, it's a week behind, remember, did fall. It fell 429,000 to 6.37 million. But remember, that number is very manipulated because, again, you can fall off the 6.37 by either A, getting a job, B, stop looking, or C, exhausting your 26 weeks. And is that exhaustion of the 26 weeks that we need to be afraid of? And again, back to Q4 pain and what is going on in our country. That ends in December. I think it's the 27th. There's no chance that our federal government is going to do even a skinny stimulus bill. That they're basically on vacation already. I did a video earlier this week, and I meant every word of it, talking about the five biggest blunders by government ever. We had a king, we had a president, we had a chief, and lo and behold, number one was Nancy and Mitch failing to help the American people that need it. I really do believe that's going to go down as a big blunder that we will be talking about for decades to come, an opportunity missed and the pain that was really there. On to kind of the numbers that we talked about on Saturday. On Saturday, I do a show kind of painting the week ahead. Macy's reported today. I talked about it on Saturday, going kind of going to be a disappointment, I think, and it was. Revenue or sales was down 20%. They're just too brick and mortar dependent. Where we've talked about other retailers being up between 100 and 500% on e-commerce or web or online or whatever you want to call it, Macy's was up a whopping 27%. That's like an accident. And in this kind of environment, for Macy's to be up 27% when they really had a low base has to be a disappointment. And another reason to show you that Macy's is in real trouble. Nvidia also reported yesterday, and again, we talked about that on Saturday, expected good numbers, and we got them. My question to you on Saturday was, will they be talking about the next quarter? And they did. They actually talked about it being a tough quarter for them. Their data center business, they don't expect to grow as much. But when you actually dig into the comments, it's because they can't produce enough. That's a quality problem, right? You could have more revenue if you could produce more, but they can't produce as much because of supply chain. So I expect their stock, at least on headline, to get hit a little bit today. But again, they beat top and bottom, as we said on Saturday, and they did talk about the next quarter, and that was an interesting gotcha. Can't deliver as much as we want, so that was interesting. L Brands, think Bath Body Works, Victoria's Secret. This company blew it away. I don't even know why analysts are in business. Get this one. They reported $1.13 in profit, or earnings per share, sorry. This is embarrassing. You know what their expectation was? Analyst expectations was 9 cents. I mean, what do we have? Monkeys throwing stuff at dartboards now? 9 cents, and the company produces $1.13. That's 1,000% miss. That's not even 100% miss. That's 1,000% miss. Terrible. A couple of other things going on today. I don't know if you saw this, but JoYY Inc. It is essentially a Chinese social media company, has come under attack from short sellers Muddy Waters. Basically, Muddy Waters, obviously talking their book, so let's just be clear, they're shorting the stock, is basically calling JoYY Inc. a fraud, a billion-dollar fraud. Remember, was it 5 months ago we were talking about Luckin Coffee? A short seller targeted that one and basically was right. That company they had to go back and report different revenue and income. People were fired. Stock was crushed. Well, JoYY Inc. is another Chinese company that is under attack, and I wonder when investors are going to look at Chinese companies with a little suspicion. I mean, one's an accident, maybe. Is two a trend? When do you just not believe them? I mean, geez, come on, folks. So what else we have? George Soros was in the news. Interestingly enough, he was an early investor in Palantir. Palantir went public a couple months ago. We've talked about them once because they moved from Palo Alto to Colorado for tax reasons. But it looks like George Soros is not happy with his investment in the company. Even though it's returned a lot of money, he is very disappointed in Palantir's business practices. His quote, not mine, I'm simply repeating. And he is looking to unload all the shares he can, that he legally can. And if you don't know, Palantir is that company that the government uses for, I think some people would call it spying. I'm trying to think of another word that Palantir would use. They probably wouldn't use that word. Information gathering, maybe. I don't know. But it's just a big data platform used by a lot of government agencies. And George Soros has, said had enough. So it's interesting. Again, we see New York schools are shutting down. Again, have to do remote learning. That's got to be rough. California is talking about a curfew. I can't believe Gavin Newsom is going there. Last thing to talk about is we got 43 days left in 2020. I don't know about you, but I look forward to those 43 days and turning the page. But you know what? We've got 43 days left. A lot of us are going to be on at least some kind of more restrictive lockdown. So what are you doing to get ready for 2021? 2020 has been a bad year for lots of people, but we got 43 days. What are you going to do between now and the end of the year to get ready for 2021? You're going to try to get a little healthy. You're going to get ready to invest in real estate finally. You're going to do some family things. What are you going to do? Think about it. Turn this time again inward, and let's try to make 2021 better. I'm going to do it as well. I'll let you know what I come up with. But yeah, it's almost over. 2020 is almost over. All right, everyone. I got Jonathan here in about 15 minutes or so. I will talk to him. Look for 3 videos from him later. And then I did a couple of videos or PowerPoints because, again, I was up early. 10 Habits of a Self-Made Millionaire is one I put together. That was actually an article I found and I kind of summarized for you. And then I have another surprise PowerPoint that I put together. So hopefully I'll get those both done today. You have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk tomorrow at 7:30 for your daily financial news. Bye-bye.